In this lecture, we will discuss about a very important concept, that is the concept of the phasor. This concept will be used in analysis of AC circuits, between relations between voltage, currents and so on. So first of all, see the definition. The phasor can be considered as a vector that represent a sinusoidally varying quantity, that is current or voltage, by means of a line rotating about a point in a plane in anticlockwise direction. The magnitude of the quantity being proportional to the length of the line, and the phase of the quantity being equal to the angle between the line and the reference line. I repeat again. Phasor can be considered as a vector that represent a sinusoidally varying quantity, that is voltage or current, by means of a line of definite length rotating about a point in a plane. Remember one thing, the phasor is considered to be rotate in anticlockwise direction. Here the anticlockwise direction is considered as the positive direction, and if it is rotating in clockwise direction, then it will be considered as the negative. Here the magnitude of the quantity being the proportional to the length of the line, and the phase of the quantity being equal to the angle between the line and a reference line. Generally, the reference line is considered as the positive x-axis, that is the 0 degree line. In other words, the phasor can be also considered as a rotating vector. It is a scaled line whose length represents an AC quantity, that is voltage or current, and that has both the magnitude, that is the peak amplitude, and the direction, that is the phase. It is represented in terms of angle in degree or radian, which is frozen at some point in time. Therefore, the phasor is a quantity that has both the magnitude and the direction, and it is used to represent an alternating quantity. This is a very important statement. Phasor is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction, and it is used to represent an alternating quantity, that means alternating voltage or alternating current. Let's illustrate the concept of the phasor diagram of a sinusoidally varying waveform. Now consider here I have taken a line OA. Initially it is in the positive x-axis. We consider this line is rotating in anti-clockwise direction with a speed of omega radian per second. This is the angular velocity. So at each and every instant, the tip point of the line, that is represented by arrow, will be plotted on a graph paper. Its projection will be plotted on the y-axis, and its angular displacement from the horizontal line would be considered as a component in the x-axis. That means, let's say after some time, the position of the line is here, O and A. It is rotating in anticlockwise direction with a velocity of omega radian per second. So in this case, if we project the value in the y-axis, we will get this type of value, and its angular position represented as omega t. So here it will be omega t. So in this way, we plot each and every position of the line. We plot it in the graph paper. For example, at 45 degree. So this is the 45-degree displacement from the origin, and this is the projection in the y-axis. This is the 90 degree. So here it is the 90 degree. Then it will be 135 degree. So you will get 135 degree point. From origin at 135 degree, we will get this point. Then at 180 degree, the value will be again in the x-axis. Then at 225 degree, this will be the position. At 270 degree, here it is point. At 315 degree, this is the point. And at 360 degree, again it is in the x-axis. So in this case, for a complete rotation of this line, making O as the center, if we project its value in a graph paper, you will get a purely sinusoidal waveform. Now if we take the value of OA, the length of the line OA, as let's say Vmax. So at 90 degree, when it is in the positive y-axis, the maximum value here will be Vmax. Similarly, at 270 degree, it is here, and here the value will be minus Vmax. So ultimately, we can consider this waveform is for a purely sinusoidal voltage whose instantaneous value can be represented as V equal to Vmax sin omega t. That means if we make this line OA to rotate in anti-clockwise direction, and if its length is equal to the maximum value of the voltage, then for a complete rotation, we will get a purely sinusoidal waveform, which will also represent this sinusoidally varying voltage, that is Vmax sin omega t. Here the arrowhead is put at the outer end. The arrowhead is put at the outer end of the phasor. It is basically partly to indicate which end is assumed to be moved. That means here it will be fixed, but this arrow sign part will be moving. And also it will indicate the length of the line. So now we can consider this OA line is representing this sinusoidal alternating voltage. So this line OA is considered as the phasor of this alternating voltage. So we consider OA line is the phasor of this alternating voltage. This is the concept. Remember one thing, the phasor is assumed to be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. And we have to remember some points. That is, the first point is its length will be equal to the maximum value. The length of the phasor will be equal to the maximum value of the alternating quantity. The second point we have to consider, in its horizontal position at the instant of the alternating quantity is 0. That means the value of the voltage will be 0, at omega t equal to 0 degree, omega t equal to 180 degree, and omega t equal to 360 degree. Similarly, at 90 degree, it will be the value of positive Vmax, and at 270 degree, the value will be equal to minus Vmax. Therefore, if we have a value of voltage V equal to, let's say, 100 sine 314t, then its phasor can be drawn as along the x-axis. So this is the phasor of this alternating voltage. Remember, if the voltage, let's say V equal to 100 sine 314t plus 30 degree, let's say it is V1. So in this case, the phasor, as we see here, this line is continuously rotating. That's why you are getting this sinusoidal waveform. But when we want to draw the phasor, it is not possible to show each and every position of the rotating line. Therefore, we always considered its initial position at time t equal to 0. So at time t equal to 0, what is its position? That is considered as its phasor position. For example, here I have taken V1 equal to 100 sine 314t plus 30 degree. Here if we consider t equal to 0, then its angular position will be plus 30 degree. That means the phasor of V1 will be in the first quadrant, and it will make an angle of 30 degree with the reference line. Remember, this is the reference line. It is also considered as 0 degree line, or we can say 360 degree line also. For AC parameter, the phasor is always drawn with respect to this reference line. So as I have seen that at time t equal to 0, its angular position will be plus 30 degree. In anti-clockwise direction, the value is considered as a positive. Therefore, from the reference line in 30 degree position, that means in the first quadrant, this is the initial position of this phasor V1. And here it is the initial position. From this position, it will be rotating continuously. Similarly, let's say there is another voltage V2 is equal to 150 sine 314t minus 45 degree, let's say. So again at time t equal to 0, its angular position will be minus 45 degree. And minus means it is below the reference line, because for clockwise rotation we consider the value is negative. So the minus 45 degree means it will be in the fourth quadrant. So here it will be V2, and this angle will be 45 degree. So this is the concept of the phasor. Now when we draw the phasor, we have to remember some points. There are some points to be remembered. The first point here is we consider the phasor will be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. So anti-clockwise direction is taken as positive. Similarly, clockwise direction is taken as negative. The positive means with respect to the reference line, with respect to the reference line, that is the 0 degree line. The second point we have to remember for phasor diagram, that is for the series circuit, the current is common for all the parts of the circuit. So here for series circuit, as the current is common for all the parts of the circuit, then current is taken as reference. So all other parameters of the circuit will be drawn with respect to the current. Similarly, for a parallel circuit, the voltage across each and every element is constant. So for a parallel circuit, the voltage value is taken as reference, and all other currents etc. will be drawn with respect to the voltage. The fourth point that we have to remember, that is when you draw various voltages and currents phasor, we have to draw it to the same scale. But the phasor basically represents the phase position or the phase angle. So phase angle should be chosen properly. Whereas the length of the line that represent either a voltage or a current, that may or may not be according to the scale. So phase angle should be considered properly, but the magnitude of the voltage and current may or may not be according to the scale. Okay. Now related to the phasor diagram, we have to define some terms also. So the first term is here phase and phase angle. So the phase is the fraction of the cycle of an alternating quantity that has been completed at a specific reference time. It is expressed as an angle, either in degree or radian. So what is phase? Phase is the fraction of a cycle of an alternating quantity that has been completed at a specific reference time, expressed as an angle in degree or radian. Remember one thing, phase means the angular position. For one complete rotation, it is considered to be 360 degree phase or 2 pi radian phase. So for one cycle, it can be considered as 360 degree or 2 pi radian of phase. In other words, the phase is a definition of the position of a point in an instant on a waveform cycle. A complete cycle is defined as 360 degree of the phase, that we have already mentioned here. So phase is a definition of the position of a point in an instant on a waveform cycle. A complete cycle is defined as 360 degree of phase, or you can say 2 pi radian of phase. It can also be defined as it is an expression of the relative displacement between or among the waves having the same frequency. This term basically comes when we will define the phase difference. So phase can also be an expression of relative displacement between or among the alternating waves having the same frequency. So when we want to draw the phasor diagram, when we want to represent the phase or phase angle, the frequency of the various alternating parameters should be same. So the phase of an alternating quantity at any instant in time can be represented by a phasor diagram. Therefore, the phasor diagram can be thought of as the functions of the time. We will discuss with figure all these terms later. Now the phase angle. The phase angle of any alternating quantity means the angle the phasor representing the alternating quantity makes with the reference line, which is taken to be at 0 degree. That means phase angle is the position of a phasor with respect to the reference line. For example, if we consider a current I is equal to, let's say, 10 sine 314t plus 45 degree. So if we draw the phasor of this current, it is the reference line, that is the 0 degree line. So at time t equal to 0, the position of the initial position of the current will be positive 45 degree, and the positive value is taken in the first quadrant. So here it will be the current I. This angle is 45 degree. Therefore, we can say the phase angle of this current is 45 degree. Phase angle of this alternating current is 45 degree. This straight line represents the phasor of the current and its phase angle is 45 degree. Here you must know one point, that is, as we have seen that the phasor is always drawn by taking its maximum value. That means here the I is nothing but I max. It is equal to the amplitude of the alternating current. But in practical case, as we know that the RMS value is equal to I max upon root 2. And as the maximum value is constant, therefore the RMS value of an sinusoidally varying alternating quantity will also be constant. Therefore, for actual representation of the phasor during circuit analysis, we also consider its RMS value. That means the line may be considered as the RMS value of the alternating quantity. The next definition is called the phase difference. The phase difference is the difference between two alternating waves having the same frequency and referenced to the same point in time. It is expressed in degree or radian. So the phase difference is the difference between two alternating waves having the same frequency and referenced to the same point in time. It is expressed in degree or radian. The phase difference may be the angular displacement between two currents. It may be between two voltage, or it may be between voltage and current. The quantity ahead in phase, when we draw two phasor of two different alternating quantity, then the quantity which is ahead in phase is said to be lead the other quantity, while the second quantity is said to be lag behind the first one. That means when we draw the phasor diagram of two or more alternating quantities, then the phasor of the alternating quantity which is ahead of the first one, it is considered to be lead the first parameter, and the second parameter is considered to be lagging behind the first one. The waveform is said to be in phase if both the waveform reaches the maximum value, the minimum value, and the zero values simultaneously at the same time. Sometimes we will use this term, the parameters are in phase. So here in phase means two waveforms will be maximum, minimum, and zero simultaneously at the same time. So let's discuss all this concept by taking some diagram. Now consider an alternating voltage and current. It is given by I is equal to 10 sin omega t plus 30 degree and V is equal to 100 sin omega t plus 60 degree. It is in amps and it is in volt. So if we want to draw the phasor diagram, it is the reference line. So at time t equal to 0, the position of the current will be plus 30 degree. Its phase will be considered as plus 30 degree. So the phasor of the current will be in the first quadrant and it will make 30 degree with the reference line. And at time equal to 0, the phase of the voltage is plus 60 degree. So the voltage will be -60 here. So the phase of the current is phase or the phase angle of current is plus 30 degree. Sometimes phase and phase angle is considered to be the same. And similarly, the phase or the phase angle of voltage is plus 60 degree. So the phase angle of the current is 30 degree, phase angle of the voltage is 60 degree. Now, what is the phase difference? If we consider the angle between voltage and current, that means this angle, it will be 60 minus 30. The total angle is 60. That means the position of the voltage with respect to the reference line is with 60 degree in the positive side, and similarly the position of the current with respect to the reference line is plus 30 degree. Therefore, angle between voltage and current will be 60 minus 30 degree. So this is considered as the phase difference. So here the phase difference between voltage and current will be 60 degree minus 30 degree and it will be equal to 30 degree. So the phase difference between voltage and current is 30 degree here. Now if we see, the voltage is here ahead of the current, because voltage is at 60 degree, current is at 30 degree. Both phasors are rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Therefore, we can say the voltage is ahead of current. So this term is considered as the voltage is leading the current. So voltage is in leading position with respect to the current. And similarly, as the current is behind the voltage, so we can say the current is lagging the voltage. These terms are frequently used for AC circuit analysis, as you will see in later classes. So the phase difference is the angular displacement between two phasors that is drawn in a common domain. Here the phasor which is ahead of the first one, ahead of the second one, is considered as the leading. In this case, the voltage lead the current. Whereas the phasor which is behind the first one is considered as lagging behind the first value. In this case, the current is lagging the voltage. Here the voltage is leading the current by 30 degree. Voltage is leading the current by 30 degree. Similarly, the current is lagging the voltage by 30 degree. Now, if we consider another set of values, let's say V is equal to 50 sine 314t and I is 5 sine 314t minus 30 degree. I have taken random values of voltage and current. So if we draw the phasor diagram of the voltage and current, here the voltage is 50 sine omega t. We can consider it as plus 0 degree also. So at time t equal to 0, the angular position of the voltage phasor will be 0 degree. That means in the reference line. So this will be the voltage along the x-axis or along the reference line. Whereas at time t equal to 0, the phase of the current will be minus 30 degree. Therefore, the current will be in the fourth quadrant. So in this case, we can say the current is lagging the voltage by 30 degree, or the voltage is leading the current by 30 degree. Generally, the value which is along the x-axis or along the reference line is considered to be the reference value. So here we will say the current is lagging the voltage by 30 degree. In the same example, take another current I1. Take another current I1 as, let's say, 7 sine 314t plus 45 degree. So the phasor of this current I1 will be at 45 degree in the first quadrant, because at time t equal to 0, its phase is plus 45 degree, or the phase angle is plus 45 degree. So the value of I1, the phasor of the I1 is here. Now in this case we will say the I1 is leading the voltage by 45 degree. Here I was lagging V by 30 degree, and here I1 is leading V by 45 degree. Because V is in the reference line, so we'll consider I and I1 with respect to the voltage, that is V. If we want to find the phase difference between all three parameters, so the phase difference between V and I is 30 degree. V and I angle is 30 degree. The phase difference between V and I1 is 45 degree, because here it is V and here it is I1. The angle between voltage and I1 is 45 degree. But if we want to find the phase difference between I and I1, then it will be 45 plus 30 degree. So here it will be 75 degree. So the phase difference between two currents, that is I and I1, is 75 degree. Remember one thing here, during phasor diagram drawing, we have not considered their magnitude. We have not drawn the lines according to the scale. That is applicable, that is allowed. But the phase relation should be proper. That means the I is lagging the voltage by 30 degrees, so it will be definitely 30 degree below the voltage. I1 is leading the voltage by 45 degree, so I1 phasor will be 45 degree leading with respect to the voltage. Again, see that if the alternating voltage is given by V equal to 100 sine 314 t, and the current is 10 sine 314 t. In this case, if we want to draw the phasor diagram of the voltage and current, here this is the reference line. So at time t equal to 0, the phase of the voltage will be 0, because here we can write it 314t can be written as 314t plus 0 degree. So the phasor of the voltage will be along the reference line V. Similarly, in case of current, it is I equal to I max sin omega t. It can be also written as omega t plus 0 degree. So the phasor of the current will be also in the reference line. So therefore, in this case, we can consider it as the voltage and current are in phase. Here the voltage and current both are in the reference line. So it is considered as the voltage and current are in phase. Similarly, let's say V is equal to 100 sine omega t plus 30 degree, and I is equal to 10 sine omega t plus 30 degree. So the phasor diagram of the voltage and current will be, it is the reference line. So at time t equal to 0, the phase of the voltage will be plus 30 degree. So it will be in the first quadrant, V. This angle is 30 degree. And at t equal to 0, the phase of the current is also plus 30 degree. So here the current will be also makes the 30-degree angle with the reference line. So again, in this case, we will say that the voltage and current are in phase. So here this is considered as V and I are in phase, and this is also applicable here. V and I are in phase. Thank you.